Tonight, potent questions for Milwaukee police on the department's plan should ICE agents increase their activity here in Milwaukee. Derek Rose in the newsroom tonight. And Derek, the department's chief of staff took those questions at a packed town hall tonight.
Yeah, hosted by Alex Brower out of District 3, Deanna, and focused on ICE activity and operation in Milwaukee. Now, because of the immigration enforcement activity we've seen in cities like Minneapolis and others, there's been a lingering question here how Milwaukee police would handle any clash between civilians and immigration officers.
Will you show up to protect us from those crimes or help them get away with it?
I'm not going to make a blanket statement for the department to say across the board, if we see illegal activity, we're going to arrest ICE. Because if I say that, what you think is illegal activity may be a law enforcement action that we cannot obstruct.
That's MPD Chief of Staff Heather Huff. Careful with her statement and her words. They're saying the department would have to evaluate each incident on its own merit. The audience not fully pleased with that answer. They were, however, receptive to the Alderman Brower, who acknowledged the fear that exists in the community about what an increased ICE presence could look like in Milwaukee. He told the audience he's willing to stand with them against ICE.
As your representative, as your alderman, that I'm fully committed to engaging in peaceful, nonviolent civil disobedience in every single way that I can. But I intend to join, if people are intending to engage in civil disobedience, to obstruct ICE, I intend to join as well.
A lot of back and forth during that conversation, Derek. It was also revealed tonight the congresswoman who was attacked during a town hall last week will be here in Milwaukee this weekend.
Yeah, according to one of the people who took the microphone tonight and this flyer that was handed out, Representative Ilhan Omar is a guest speaker slated to speak at the Islamic Society of Milwaukee Sunday afternoon. The event is headlined as Standing with the People of Minnesota, United Against Intimidation and Violence for All of Our Shared Communities. Deanna.
All right, Derek Rose with that development tonight at 10. Derek, thank you. Now that town hall coming as the Department of Homeland Security says it plans to issue body cameras to all federal agents on the ground in Minneapolis. This after agents shot and killed 2 people in the city. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the move is effective immediately.
More local news tonight. A police shootout in Brookfield now linked to several drive-by shootings in Waukesha County. Police say the man responsible crashed his car near Barker and River Road Saturday night. James Stratton tonight questioned police on what led to that crash.
Chaos Saturday night in Brookfield. A car crash leads to a police shootout.
I copy shots fired. What's your location?
Barker and River. He shot us at us from the tree line.
Brookfield police say when officers responded to a car crash on Barker and River roads, the driver ran from the scene and shot at them. Police returned fire, shooting the man, who is now in a hospital and under arrest in critical condition, but is stable. Monday, the chaos turned to connection.
Evidence collected at Brookfield linked the suspect to our shots fired investigation.
Police revealing the 31-year-old man as a person of interest in drive-by shootings of 2 homes in the city of Waukesha on Wingate Way and a third on River Valley Road in the Village on January 24th. Police say casings and video recovered led them to a car, the same car that crashed Saturday night.
The same gun throughout. We believe it is the same firearm, yes.
Police say they're still investigating a potential motive for the shootings.
It appears that to be random. We don't know the why.
Tonight, questions remain about how the man ended up in a crash and shootout with Brookfield officers.
Were you surveilling him at the time of the crash?
No.
Was it just luck then that he crashed there?
I don't know what it was, but there was a vehicle crash there, and the city of Brookfield officers that responded there, all they knew was there was a crash.
Now police are trying to turn the chaos and connection to clarity and charges. In Waukesha, James Stratton, WISN 12 News.
Now, it's not clear if this case is linked to a New Berlin home recently hit twice by gunfire on 2 different nights. Police say a different shooting at an apartment in downtown Waukesha is not connected to the drive-bys. A spray of gunfire hit an apartment Thursday night at Wisconsin and Maple. Police charged 19-year-old Caden Hoffler after they say he admitted to firing the shots and that one of the victims inside the apartment was his ex-girlfriend.
An argument led to a deadly shooting in downtown Milwaukee in the middle of the day. Police were on the scene this afternoon at Astor and Knapp Streets. That's where a 50-year-old victim died. A 31-year-old is in custody in connection to the shooting tonight. Tonight, contact tracers are in touch with some 4,000 people who may have been exposed to measles.
And yeah, today officials confirmed a student at UW-Madison is sick. That student lives in an off-campus apartment but visited several campus locations while infected between Sunday, January 25th to Wednesday, January 28th. We put those locations there on your screen. Health officials believe the student got exposed while traveling internationally.
If you've been vaccinated with the MMR, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, the good news is you don't need a quarantine. You already, even if you've been exposed, you're already highly protected. But since measles is present in our community, we would ask that you monitor for symptoms.
Health officials do not think this measles case is connected to one previously reported last week in Waukesha County.
It's a far-reaching scam, an international scheme that makes its way into your home via a pop-up on your computer or maybe your phone. 12 News investigative reporter James Stratton is looking into the sophisticated con for months now, and tonight he's obtained new video of a dramatic takedown.
Get on the ground or you're gonna get tased! Get on the ground or you're gonna get tased!
A man and a woman caught in Washington state. Their arrest captured on police body cam. The pair accused in fraudulent gold deals in Wisconsin and elsewhere, part of a staggering number of people caught up in the con.
The same reason that you're here, the same reason that I'm here. Which is, I was looking for you.
The life savings lost and inside the cross-country police investigation, the Gold Bar scam takedown, an exclusive 12 News investigation tomorrow on 12 News at 6.
Weather Watch 12 now. It's not a heat wave, but it definitely is better than last week.
20s and then 30s all week long.
Which is a lot better than the single digits and the teens where we were last week for highs. So it is an improvement. 22 degrees right now after a high of 27. All is quiet looking down on Brady Street. Look at how close the snow is to us tonight. But notice the trajectory of this. It's going to move down to the south of us. We'll stay dry as we work our way through the nighttime hours. So then we're just going to talk temperatures. Is it still chilly? Yes. That bottom number, that's wind chills. Wind chills will be down around 2-3 degrees overnight. Temperatures themselves fall down into the teens, but 30s are on the way. Let you know when that arrives coming up in Weather Watch 12.
Alrighty, thanks, Mark. Now to the Brewers and their TV channel change-up.
This season's games will not be broadcast on FanDuel Sports Network. Instead, games will be produced and distributed by Major League Baseball. You will still be able to watch on cable and satellite and also have the option to stream games on the MLB app. The specific channel locations will be announced at a later date. The team says to expect the same on-air crew.
Really excited about the MLB production quality in terms of the number of cameras and the sort of the new technology.
And still to come for you tonight, the team on the new changes you'll see this season.
Also ahead tonight, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie missing. Investigators now believe she's been kidnapped. The reason, it's now a race against time.
So it's a way of getting out, socializing, meeting new people, and just having fun.
Stepping. And a special Black History Month honor, the Milwaukee woman turning pain into power.
And a big giveaway tonight, all thanks to a Bucks guard. What he dropped off at a local Boys and Girls Club earlier today.
An update to a story we've been following all day long. Arizona police at this hour calling the disappearance of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother a crime.
84-year-old Nancy Guthrie last seen in her Tucson area home on Saturday. The sheriff's office now believes she may have been kidnapped while asleep. Police say they found evidence that suggests a crime had been committed, but did not reveal what that evidence was.
Nancy Guthrie is of great sound mind. This is not a dementia related. She is as sharp as a tack. The family wants everybody to know this isn't somebody who just wandered off.
In a statement, Savannah Guthrie thanked law enforcement and said the focus remains on her mother's safe return.
Still eastbound in the field, sees her 30 coming up to a house.
An update to a video we showed you last week. A Green Bay woman charged with leading sheriff deputies on a 130-mile chase that ended in a Fond du Lac County cornfield. You saw it there. Jenna Burmeister faces charges of eluding an officer, recklessly endangering safety, and resisting or obstructing an officer.
A kickoff to Black History Month in the city of Milwaukee.
These honorees are not just reflecting on history. These folks are creating history.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson honoring people who have made a meaningful impact through servitude in Milwaukee's community. Rhea Spigner is speaking with one of those honorees tonight.
Yes, this recognition is so well deserved for Cynthia Wilson. She says that she will always follow her passion of serving others and be there when the community calls.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson honoring Cynthia Wilson Monday for her service to community. Her work stemming from a deep passion and from grief.
My son was such a happy person. We grew up together. We were like best friends.
She started Stop the Violence after experiencing a painful loss of her son, Terrell.
My son was killed 25 years ago by a friend of his.
The organization focuses on supporting kids and parents with gifts and resources to fundraising. The ethos anchored in providing safe spaces.
Pay attention to their kids, talk to them, listen to them, get them involved, try and get their kids in some type of activity so they're not at home saying, I don't have nothing to do, and then they're out there getting in trouble with the wrong people.
But one of her proudest moments through her organization.
The Milwaukee Kings, it was a group of boys. They had a little AAU team, and they traveled to different states. They were able to do that with the funds that I helped them raise.
Now she says all of them are in college playing football. But something you might be more familiar with is her charity event, Stepping with the Stars.